Sports. Menominee late. Having a pretty good season, sitting at 4-1 in conference, looking to pick up their 5th win of conference with only 4 games left to go in the 2025 volleyball season. As you can hear the starters being announced for Menominee right now, awaiting Amherst's side. It is also the pink game for Amherst. You can see all the pink on your screen. So we'll see if they say anything about all the jerseys. The jerseys, they have their names on the back and everything, so it's pretty cool and unique. You get to wear it one game and then keep the jerseys. A little bit of a later start time as well, around 7:20. It's supposed to be 7 p.m., but they always have the JV games play before, so that's what pushes it back. All right, it looks like about ready to go here. I believe so, yes. So Amherst looking once again to improve to 16-7 overall. And every single time I've been here, they've actually gotten the win, so looking to keep that streak alive over on the Amherst side. And on the other side for the Menominee Lady Eagles, they're trying to pick up that conference win against a tough Amherst squad. We'll see if they can get it done. The JV squad ended up losing to JV Amherst's squad, so we'll see if the varsity can change it around or turn around. When it comes to real estate, you need someone you can trust to know every town, street, deer trail in the area. Brett Favor of Hoff Favor Real Estate is here for you. Whether buying, selling, or just curious about real estate values, reach out to Brett Favor. So starting lineup for Amherst, they have Delaney Connor out there with Ivy Bulk, Leah Kisting, Alexis Wiersba, Kinsey Martin, and Rachel Portman. As Amherst puts it right in that middle zone, and they get the first point of the night. Serving was the Eagles. So now Kinsey Martin will serve it away for Amherst. That one hits the net, and we are tied up early here. Martin couldn't get it over on her first serve of the night, and for Amherst. Here's the serve for the Eagles by Aubrey Korn, setting up Bulk. Or excuse me, yes, Bulk. And a nice block and a point for Amherst. Good job there by Ivy Bulk getting up and making the play. It's now 2-1 Amherst. Here's Rachel Portman with the serve for the Falcons. And right there on the hit back is Delaney Connor, the senior, making the start tonight. And an early 3-1 lead for Amherst. And that one's in on the serve, and it's an ace for Portman. Just got it in that right corner. It's now 4-1 Falcons. Good start here for Amherst. Trying to prove to 5-1 in conference against the Menominee Lady Eagles. And the libero, Shea Santapaw, couldn't get that one over. It'll be another ace for Portman. Here's the serve by Rachel Portman. This time, Santapaw's there. They get it over. Collected by Kisting, and a big spike and out of bounds on the hit by Ivy Bulk. And the first substitution of the night for Amherst. It's going to be Callie Lepak coming in for Portman. Serving now for Menominee is Natalie Peters. Kissing with a nice dig, but that one goes out of bounds. It'll be back-to-back points for the Lady Eagles. So far, Menominee hanging around with Amherst. It's only a 5-3 game, so lots of volleyball left to play here in set number 1. Collecting that one is Martin, hit over by Bulk. Eagles setting up now as well. Nice block there by Bulk and a great dig by Connor, hit over by Wiersba, and that's going to hit the net. It'll be a point for Amherst. Nice little rally between the two squads, but Amherst comes away with it as another substitution for the Falcons. Holly Singer subbing in for the first time tonight for the libero, Lee Kisting. Here's the serve now from Delaney Connor. High in the air and collected by Miley Dixon. Here's the setup for Singer. Libero going to Aubrey Korn, who gets the point, or excuse me, out of bounds on the hit. And it'll be a point for the Falcons. Here's Delaney Connor with the serve once again. Collecting and now setting up the libero. As it'll be a point for the Lady Eagles. Max Korn, the head coach for Menominee, trying to keep the Lady Eagles close with Amherst. That's their best chance. And let Amherst make the mistakes as they set up Bulk. Nice job there. That hits the roof, though. They got to get it over here on hit number 3. Inbounds, nice collection there from Singer. That one goes over. Kisting now setting up Wiersba with a spike. And that one goes out of bounds on the hit by Santapaw, and it'll be a point for Amherst. Subbing in for Menominee is going to be Cecilia Grignon. For Miley Dixon. Here's Bulk with the serve. That one goes out of bounds on the hit by Grignon. It's now 9-4 Falcons. Good start here for Amherst here in set 1. That one hits the net on the hit by Santapaw. It'll be another point for the Falcons. Back-to-back scores here for Amherst, 10-4. Here's the hit now from Bulk. And a nice play there. Aubrey Korn gets the point for the Lady Eagles. And back to serve now for the Eagles is going to be Keisha Korn. 4 Korns on this roster. Kylie Korn, Aubrey Korn, Aaliyah Korn, and Keisha Korn. That one heads out of bounds on the serve from Keisha Korn. And the point will go back to the Falcons. A couple substitutions here for Amherst. Infinity Exteriors installing Peace of Mind roofing, siding, and windows built to last, saving our communities from unscrumptious contractors. We guarantee qualities you can trust. Now serving for Amherst is going to be Rihanna Ziesman. Getting her first playing time of the night. Hopefully we'll see more of her. Ziesman collects it there, and now they're going to set up Portman. High in the air, they got to get it over, they do. Nice collection there from Bulk. Setting up Martin. Nice little tip there collected by Bulk. Ziesman now, they got to get over, Bulk does. Nice job there from Ivy Bulk. Being aware where the ball was. Bulk once again, high in the air, they got to get over. Can they do it here? And no, they cannot. That one seemed almost impossible, and sure enough it was. Hits the very top of the ceiling, got through all the bars. And the last-ditch effort from Lee Kisting. Couldn't get a good hit of that one, and it'll be a point for the Eagles. Now serving is Shea Santapaw. Portman sets up Kisting. Over by Singer. High in the air, and here's a hit from Korn, and that one's blocked, and a nice play there from the Falcons making the play on the block from Martin. And it'll be Lee Kisting with the serve now, up 12-6. Nice play there from Portman, and that one goes out of bounds on the hit by Martin. So just like I mentioned, all the points mostly coming from mistakes by Amherst. Whether it's heading it out of bounds or not being in the right spots. So here's the serve now for Menominee, Peyton Lyons. Over by Bulk. Lyons collects that one. Santapaw. Back to Korn, and a nice play there from Weirs, but they got to get it over. They do. Ivy Bulk was there, and it'll be almost a point for Amherst, and yes, it will be. I believe too many hits or there was a line violation, one of the two. No matter what, it's a point for the Falcons. And that one wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Wiersba and Bulk making the play. Alexis Wiersba with a nice dive. And then Bulk made the play to get it over. Here's Lyons now. High in the air, hits the top of the net. Connor's there, and now hit over by Portman. She can't get the point, though. Now Kisting with it. They're going to set up Ivy Bulk, and a nice push hit over the net, and it'll be a point for the Falcons. Nice play there from the junior. And now it'll be Kinsey Martin with the serve. 14-7 for the Falcons now. And a miscommunication play there between Santapaw and Korn. And it'll be back-to-back points for the Falcons. So the Falcons trying to go on a run here, up by 8. Currently a 2-0 run. Here's Martin now with the serve, collected by Korn. And a nice hit over. Lyons is there, though. Bulk with a hit over. An easy play there from Ivy Bulk. And 3 in a row now for the Falcons. Last two matchups here at home between Shiocton and Manawa were both very close. Each team taking sets, whether it was Amherst or the other two. And that'll be a point there for the Eagles. So Menominee looking to keep that trend going. Currently only down by 8, so still very manageable. So now back to serve is Korn. That one's going to hit the net, and another point for the Falcons. 17-8 here in set 1. Great food and wonderful family atmosphere awaits you at Whitetail Lanes in Amherst. Pizzas, burgers, sandwiches, wraps, appetizers, soups, and so much more. Lunch and dinner are served at Whitetail Lanes on Highway Q in Amherst Junction. And there's an ace there for Rachel Portman making the play. And now the biggest lead of the day for Amherst, 18-8. As they are now only 7 away from taking set number 1. Portman now with the serve. Doesn't get the ace on that one as they set up Korn. Gisting high in the air, hits the basketball hoop, almost goes through the net there. Martin there and a big spike from Wiersba making the play. Amherst gets back-to-back points, and a nice job there being aware once again. And that's one of the great things that the Falcons do. They're aware where the ball is. As we're going to take a commercial break here on Zaleski Sports, 19-8. We'll be back after this.
It's more than a job. It's semi-annual bonus, free medical clinic, free gym membership, retirement plan contribution, 11 paid holidays, and benefits start on day 1. Apply today. Electrical and mechanical maintenance and production jobs at WIAA Foundry make iron castings the world uses and trusts. Visit jobs.wapakafoundry.com. Equal opportunity employer. Women and minorities encouraged to apply.
Everybody, and welcome back. It's currently 19-8 here in Amherst between the Menominee Lady Eagles and the Amherst Falcons. I'm Brett McNamara. You're listening on Zaleski Sports on YouTube. Here in set number 1, it's been all Amherst, making a lot of plays, being aware of where the ball's going. And on the other side for Menominee, a lot of miscommunication, not talking it over as they talk it over there on the timeout. So we'll see if they make any adjustments. But serving now for the Falcons is going to be Rachel Portman. Ball heads over, collected by Keisha Korn. Here's the other Korn with the hit. Portman high in the air. Martin's got that one. Connor hits it over. Here's Lyons. Hit by Peters. Now back over to the Amherst side. That one goes out of bounds on the hit by Connor. It'll be a much-needed point for the Eagles. He's now subbing in for the Falcons is Callie Lepak for Portman. Lepak, a senior. One of 4 of this on this roster for the Falcons is out of bounds. Goes the hit by Peters. It's now 20-9, and they're 5 away from taking set 1. So here's the serve now from Connor. Korn is there. Lyons just decides to hit herself. They're going to set up Wiersba here on the spike. That's off a hand and out of bounds. It'll be a point for the Falcons. Wasn't sure who they were going to set up there, whether it was going to be Bulk or Wiersba. Decided to go to Alexis Wiersba. It looks like that was the right decision as they get the point. Now 4 away from taking set 1. Keisha Korn with the hit in the air. This time she'll hit it over. Here's a nice play made by Lyons. You thought that was an easy point for Ivy Bulk as they set her up perfectly, but a nice play made by Peyton Lyons. And now Riley Dixon will serve it away, or excuse me. Yes, Miley Dixon. They got to get it over. They do, and nice play there. A couple of hits setting up. Wiersba decides to go with the little tap over the net. This Korn's there to hit it over. Kisting now. Where are they going to set up this time? They go back to Wiersba on the spike and the score. Nobody was there. And once again, Menominee not communicating on who should get it. They all called each other off, or nobody called to go get it. And now we're 3 away from the end of set 1 on the Amherst side. Here's Bulk with the serve. High in the air, collected by Cecilia Grignon. Hit over. Kisting. Bulk to Wiersba. A little tap and a score off the hands of Lyons. And another point for the Falcons. Here's the serve from Ivy Bulk once again. Lyons trying to get that one over. She can't do it because Alexis Wiersba was there. Now 1 away from taking set one for Amherst. It's going to be Ivy Bulk serving it away. Gets it over the net, and nobody's there in time. It's an ace for Bulk, and that perfectly sums up set number one for the Falcons. All Amherst 25-10 as we head to set number two. But first, we're going to take a commercial break here on Zaleski Sports.
My grandparents worked so hard their whole life to keep things nice. You want to make sure that you're getting the job done correctly. At no point did I feel like I wasn't being handled by professionals. They were literally taking it on a surgical level, it seemed. Like they were very, very thorough on every step. I feel like Infinity treated my family with the same respect they would have treated their own. I feel like my house is brand new again.
When it comes to vehicle maintenance and repairs, Stevens Point knows you can always put your trust in Auto Select. Keeping up with vehicle maintenance is often an inconvenience, but with locations on Highway 10 East and Church Street in Plover, Auto Select will have you back on the road in no time. Enjoy their 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, along with shuttle service and loaner vehicles for your convenience. Quality, dependable, automotive care experts you can trust in Stevens Point, Plover, and in Weston. At Auto Select, you're good to go.
Good evening, folks. Matt LePay here. Ridgetop Exteriors is kicking off your roof replacement like pros. Old shingles off, decking down, ice and water guard set. Textbook protection. Underlayment follows. Sealed tight like an O-line. Valleys flashed. Shingles installed row by row. Captain ventilated. The crew scoops every nail, leaving no yard marker behind. This project's wrapped. Your turn to call the play at ridgetopexteriors.com.
In every department at Dull Auto, you'll find people who've been in the industry for decades. Sales staff with a deep knowledge, not just of cars, but how to build relationships. A service team who always double checks each other's work. Dozens of people you may never meet who've been working for years to make buying and servicing a car feel fast and easy. In over 100 years at Dull Auto, we've learned to value experience. After working with our team, you'll value our experience too. Dull Auto, simple.
ZaleskiSports.com has leveled up. Go to ZaleskiSports.com and choose your favorite schools for easy navigation. From the homepage, choose your school to see team records, upcoming schedules, and past results. Use the video icon to launch the next broadcast. Use the arrow icon to watch any previous broadcasts. See the full weekly schedule too. Level up at ZaleskiSports.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. If you're just joining us, Amherst took set number one. 25-10 was the final of that one. So we head to set number two with Amherst serving it away to start. And a lot of miscommunication for Menominee as they look to turn it around. They did take one timeout in that first set to talk it over, but it did not work. And it resulted in Amherst winning by 15. As here's the serve now from Kinsey Martin, looking to continue this nice start for the Falcons. Heads over, collected by Senepaw, and it's going to be a point for the Falcons and a good start. Couldn't quite tell what happened, but point for the Falcons. So now Martin with back-to-back serves. High in the air, clicked by Senepaw. Lyons hits it over. Martin's got that one. They're going to set up Ivy Bulk, and there's another point for the Falcons. Ivy Bulk with the quick pushover. And it's 2-0 Falcons. Kinsey Martin once again serving it away. Senepaw, Lyons, and a nice play there, but she hit the net. And it'll be 3 in a row for Amherst. And a good run here for the Falcons. And once again, it's just the mistakes for Menominee that are costing them this game. Lyons setting up Korn. Martin's there. Kisting. They're going to go Over to the other side, that's Sasha Golan with the play. Hit over by Korn. Setting up Bulk, and a nice dig, and trying to get another one in there, but they couldn't. It's 4-0 Falcons. That was Korn with the dive and the attempt. So like I mentioned, Sasha Golan did not play in that first set. Here in set number 2, though. Senepaw, Lions, high in the air for Peters, and that will hit the nets. 5-0 Amherst. Very lopsided in this match so far. Here's Martin with the serve. Senepaw's there. Lions going to set up Korn this time, and a spike, but out of bounds. 6-0 Falcons. Martin with the serve. Senepaw. Korn high in the air. They got to get it over. They do by Peters. Here's Alexis Wiersma setting it up. Hit over by Golan. Korn hits that one over. Wiersma's there. They're going to set up Golan once again, and it's going to be Korn there. Hit over by Lions. Martin, who are they going to set up this time? It's Ivy Bulk with the spike and the slam. And the score, 7-0. They got a touchdown lead here in set 2. So now Kinsey Martin will serve it away for Amherst. And they've been going right at the libero for Menominee, Shea Senepaw, but that time they couldn't do it as they hit the net on the serve, and it'll be the first point of set 2 for the Lady Eagles. Serving his Lions, a nice dig there from Kisting, hitting it over Sasha Golan. Lions going to set up Peters, and Kisting's there once again. Here's the big hit on the spike, and a score for Sasha Golan, as she'll sub out now for Tara Stormone, the junior, getting her first action of the night. Now's the time for that new roofing project you've been putting off. Call Bob Gold Roofing for that brand new roof your home deserves. That's Bob Gold Roofing in Amherst. Nice dig there from Senepaw, Kisting there. Let's see if they're going to set up Bulk and the spike, and that one goes into the stands. It's now 9-1 Amherst, and a great start here for the Falcons in set 2. Falcons took set 1, 25-10, looking to do the same here. And so far, it's so good for the Falcons. That one heads out of bounds on the serve. On the serve by Tara Stomone. So here's Korn with the serve. And that one goes out of bounds. A nice awareness by the libero Kisting. She almost did hit it. She'll sub out here for Holly Singer. Here's Callie Lepak with the serve almost out of bounds. Libero's there in time, and a big hit by Lions, collected by Stormone. They're going to set up Wiersma, and a nice block there, and a great play by the Lady Eagles on a block by Miley Dixon, getting up high and making the play. It's now 10-3. So here comes the serve by Peters. Nice dig there from Stormone. Hit over by Martin. Peters high in the air. Lions going to go over to Dixon. Stormone gets that one. Martin going to set up Wiersma, and she just taps it over. This time no spike, and it worked out perfectly for the junior. It's now 11-3 Amherst. Great play there, and a heads up mentality by Wiersma. She does that quite a lot, catching the opponents off guard. As now Ivy Bulk's going to serve it away for Amherst. Here's the hit by Keisha Korn making the play. As now Ivy Bulk's going to sub out for Rihanna Ziesman. As Riley Dixon will serve it away for Menominee, trying to get their 5th point. So here's Wiersba, and she can't tap it over that time. Tried to go back to it on back-to-back attempts. As Menominee ends up getting that 5th point. So now Dixon once again, back-to-back serves. Here's Kisting now, high in the air. It's going to be Martin. They're going to set up Wiersba. And somehow Menominee gets the point there. It's now 2 points in a row for Menominee, 11-6. Trying to mount a comeback here, so we'll see if they can. As here's the serve from Dixon once again. This time it's going to be Stormo, and Wiersba's there. Martin's got to get over. She does. Korn, high in the air to Lyons. They're going to go to the other Korn, and tipped in the air still. And a miscommunication between the refs. I believe it should be a point for Menominee, as it did get over at the last second. I think the ref was about to call it. And I think it's going to be a reserve. So yes, a reserve. Stormo's there. High in the air. Singer is the one that made the play. Wiersba gets it over. Lyons going to Korn. She's there. And now a big spike from Wiersba. It's blocked back on the Amherst side. Wiersba going back to it, and she gets the score that time. Wiersba denied once, not on the second attempt. And a couple substitutions. Wiersba out, and so is Stormone. For Rachel Portman and Sasha Golan. So Singer, Golan, Martin, Kisting, Ziesman, and Portman for Amherst. And a miss hit there for Sasha Golan. Just got her right hand on that, just the outside of it, so that's what resulted in it hitting the net. It'll be a serve for Menominee. Only down by 5, so much manageable game, and another mistake by the Falcons, this time coming from Rihanna Ziesman. It is only 12-8. Menominee was down, I believe, 8-1 at one point. Here's the serve from Korn. This time, Ziesman makes the play. High in the air, Kisting's just going to try and push it over. She can't. And the mistakes continue for Amherst, and that's what's making Menominee get back into this game. They're only down by 3 now, as we await the serve from Korn. Keisha Korn, Kisting. For Martin, going to go over to Wiersba, and she hits it out of bounds, and it's another point for Menominee. They hit the 10-point mark. When we were talking about them trying to get to the 5-point mark, they got 5 in a row here, or I think like a 5-1 run. Wiersba, Martin now, and another mistake by the Falcons. And it's been 4 serves in a row now where the Falcons just can't get it together. And the miscommunication, the mistakes are helping Menominee get right back in this one. It's now 12-11 somehow, some way. Here's Korn now with the hit, and this time a mistake from Menominee. And a point for the Falcons, 13-11 here in set 2. Amherst Family Foods continues to serve the community as a full-service grocery store with fresh local produce and so much more. With hot food selection, dairy, frozen foods, produce, fresh fruits, veggies, and drinks, get your groceries at Amherst Family Foods. As here's the Eagles getting that one over by Korn. Martin decides to go with it herself and a nice heads-up play. LePack going back to her. She gets it over, this time collected by Tiana Waku. Here's Martin going to Golan, and it'll be a point for Menominee on Golan running into the net, so Kisting's going to come back in for Holly Singer. And another mistake, the Falcons, that's what is costing them right now. And can't make the dig is Rihanna Ziesman. And we are tied 13-13. And the Falcons are just falling apart here in set number 2. Here's Senapal with the serve. Wiersba, that one goes nowhere. And Menominee comes all the way back and takes the lead, 14-13 now. It was 8-1 at one point. Here's Senapal with the serve once again. Ziesman's there. High in the air for Martin. They're going to go to Golan, and another mistake, 15-13. And a timeout for Amherst. And they needed, to be honest, they have given up 10 points compared to 2. I believe a 10-2 run here for the Falcons. We're going to head to commercial break. We'll be back after this.
Whitetail Lanes is your fun headquarters in central Wisconsin. We offer a clean, family-friendly environment. Whether you come to bowl, eat, visit our pro shop, or just hang out, we'll show you what customer service is all about. We pride ourselves on serving excellent food at reasonable prices. Try our Friday night fish fry, or come out on Saturdays for our delicious homemade pizza cooked in our new stone ovens. Book us for your next party or event. Once you've been here, we know you'll be back. Whitetail Lanes, just north of Amherst Junction on Q.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. If you're just joining us, the Falcons had a pretty good lead going. It was 8-1 at one point, and then just a collapse from Amherst. It's now 15-13 Menominee, and a lot of the points are coming from mistakes by Amherst, whether they're running into the net or not communicating with their teammates. We'll see if that timeout helped a little bit, and another mistake here for the Falcons. They hit the pole on the side on the hit by Callie LePack, and it's 16-13 Menominee. And going into set 2, as there's an out-of-bounds hit on the serve. But going into set 2, it was looking like a realistic possibility that was going to be an easy sweep for Amherst, but Menominee is really taking it to him here in set 2, 16-14 the lead. Martin with the serve. Hit and out of bounds, a mistake by Menominee, this time coming from Tiana Waku. And Amherst trying to get back on track here. The starters are in for Amherst. Martin with the serve, and that one's in by probably 3 inches, and an ace for Kinsey Martin. So 16-16, as now the Falcons have mounted their own little comeback. Down by 2. So tied up here, hit by Waku. That one goes over on the hit by Lyons. They're going to set up LePack. High in the air going towards the bench, and another point for the Falcons on the hit from Callie LePack. She gets the kill. It's now 17-16 Amherst. Culligan Water specializes in all of your water softener, drinking water, and water filtration systems. You can count on Culligan to keep your water pure and healthy with unparalleled service and convenient delivery options. Another point here for Menominee on the out-of-bounds hit by Kinsey Martin. So 17-17. Way better job here from Menominee as that one heads out of bounds on the serve, and another point for the Falcons. And I feel like a lot of the points from the Eagles are just based off what Amherst is doing wrong. So 18-17 now, Tara Stormone with the serve. Lyons is there. Hitting it over is, I believe, Miley Dixon. Wiersma gets that one over. Nice collection there from Santapaw. Setting up Korn, and a nice play there by, Natalie Peters making the play and hitting it right in the middle of that zone. And another point for Menominee. It's 18-18. So Aubrey Korn with the serve for Menominee. Tied up 18-18. They're going to set up Alexis Wiersma with a spike and a hit. And that'll be a point for, I believe, Menominee on the hit. Because I think they hit that left side pole. It would be a left side for Amherst. Here's Korn now. Nice dig there from Kisting. They're going to set up Bulk. She gets it over. A nice collection there from Korn. Stormone's there. They're going to go back to Bulk with a little tap. Santapaw, the nice dig and a slide. Hit over by Keisha Korn. Here's Kisting now. High in the air. They're going to go Lepak. Lepak's going to hit that one out of bounds. And it'll be another point for Menominee. 20-18. And the Lady Eagles are 5 away from taking set number 2. Once again, Menominee 0-5 in conference, trying to pick up that first conference win. A nice dig there from Stormone. Over to Menominee's side. A big spike. Kisting's got that one. They're going to set up Ivy Bulk with the slam. And a nice play there from Ivy Bulk making the play. And it's now 19-20. And Callie Lepak looking to get the Falcons back on board here. And another miscommunication for the Eagles. It was hit by Keisha Korn trying to set up one of her teammates. And that helps the Falcons a lot as we are tied 20 apiece. Both teams 5 away from trying to take set number 2. Menominee really needs this one. Hit by Korn. They're going to set up Dixon. Martin hits that one in the air, and that one's going to go backwards. Lepak wasn't there. And another point for the Lady Eagles. So now back to serve is Natalie Peters. Lady Eagles trying to run away with it here in set 2. Kisting with a nice dive. Hit over, Singer's going to set up Bulk. Goes back. They're going to go back to Peters here, and that one's going to hit the net. It's a point for the Falcons. We are tied at 21. And this is where Amherst usually locks in and completes the set. Around this 20-23 mark, the Falcons really come together as a team. Here's Bulk going to Kisting. Back over to Wiersma. Just hits it over. And that one's going to hit the net too far on the hit by Korn trying to set up Lions. And it'll be a point for the Falcons as they have their first lead. Quite a while. Here's the serve from Bulk. And that one goes out of bounds on the hit by Korn. And another point for the Falcons, 23-21. They really need this one. If they can get this set, they would be one away from sweeping Menominee. As a timeout is called by the Menominee Lady Eagles. They really need to talk about it. They had a pretty good run here, but 23-21, we're going to head to a commercial break here on Zaleski Sports.
Hello, Wisconsin. Phelps Dairy Store in Stevens Point is your spot for family fun. Wisconsin style at the farm. Come have an ice cream or some of their daily made fresh cheese curds while observing the robotic barn milking the cows. Ask for a tour of the farm or let the kids see the cows up close. Various Wisconsin-made dairy and beef products, seasonal decor, and outdoor activities are just the start of the family fun that awaits you at the Phelps Dairy Store, just a half mile from Walmart in Stevens Point. Phelps Dairy Store, food, family, and fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Currently 23-21. Timeout by the Lady Eagles. We'll see if they can mount another comeback. They were down by 7 at one point, came back, took a lead, and now Amherst with the lead here. Bulk with the serve. And a point on the hit out of bounds by Bulk. Menominee will try to tie this one up on the serve by Dixon. Nice dig there from Senepaw. Hit over by Lyons. Kisting's there. Bulk gonna set up Martin, but that one's out of bounds in the hit. We are tied at 23. And now Dixon with the game tied 23 apiece. Martin gonna go back to Wiersma. She's got the spike in the score. And the Falcons are one away from taking set number 2 and being one win away from taking the match and sweeping Menominee. Coming in is Portman for Wiersma. Bulk still in there. As you can see, the ones are up. Here's Portman with the serve. That one goes right to Korn. Lyons is there. It's got to be hit over by Korn. That one goes right to Kisting. Bulk gonna set up Golan. She gets it over. Hit over by Korn. Bulk gonna go to Singer. That one's high in the air. Back over, and it's a point for the Falcons. They take it in set number 2, 25-23. A nice battle between the two squads, but the Falcons fly away with this one. We head to set number 3, where the Falcons are up 2-0. We're gonna head to commercial break here on Zaleski Sports.
Find auto repairs, brakes, tires, and oil changes all in one place at Auto Select in Weston. At Auto Select, you can expect dependable automotive repair from the experts you can trust will exceed your expectations. Auto repair has never been so comfortable with a spacious, clean waiting room with refreshments along with shuttle service and loaner vehicles for your convenience. And ask about their 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. For your next auto repair or maintenance, bring your vehicle to Auto Select on Schofield Avenue in Weston. In Stevens Point and Plover, at Auto Select, you're good to go.
Selling your car to Dahl Auto is quick and easy. Bring your title and keys, and you'll have a check in as little as 30 minutes. Still owe money on your vehicle? No problem. We'll take care of it. Dahl Auto. Simple.
The littlest thing of walking or just being able to get around the community or walk to the grocery store or walk around the grocery store is just something little, but that is such an impactful thing, I think, to the patient to say, okay, well, I have 5 other things, but you were able to just help me with one of them. And I think that is gratifying for me personally, just to help even one small aspect of their life.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now. Are you tired of being a boring old tree, bird, or mythical war hero? Find the right job for you at Express Employment. Stop today and discuss positions that fit your abilities and qualifications, leading you to the perfect job. Always local, always strategically selected to match your skill set with local employers. There's a perfect job out there. Let Express Employment professionals help you find it. In Wausau, Stevens Point, Medford, and Marshfield. Find jobs and apply online at expresspros.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this one Amherst currently up 2-0 in sets. If you're just joining us, it was 25-10. The final is set number 1. And set number 2, Menominee made it really close, but Amherst still won that one 25-23 as we head to set number 3 with the Falcons looking to get the sweep here in Amherst on Pink Nights. As it looks like both teams are ready to go here in Amherst. So serving it for the Menominee Lady Eagles is going to be, I believe, Peyton Lyons. It's going to be Kisting, Martin, Bulk, Wiersba, Golan, and Portman for the Falcons. This one is going to go out of bounds on the serve and an early 1-0 lead for the Falcons. So Amherst trying to tune some things. Golden Eagles, or excuse me, Lady Eagles. Great things are happening at the Tomorrow River School District. Join the Falcon family. Are you ready to fly with us? On a big hit there from Wiersba. That one stays in bounds. It'll be a point. Stormone in for the Falcons. She's gotten a lot of playing time. She's played well so far. So 2-2 now. Stormone with the serve. That goes right at Korn. Lyons is there. They got to get it over. Peters does. Kisting with the collection. Here's Martin going to set up. We're going to go to Wiersba here on the spike in the score. And that worked out perfectly for the Falcons. 1-2-3 and the point. 3-2 Amherst. So here's Stormone with the serve once again. 3-2 here. Hit over. Stormone collects that one. Martin high in the air. Wiersba wanted it, but Kisting hits it over. Here's Peters on the spike. Wiersba collects that. Kisting. Nice awareness there, and a nice little tap over for Ivy Bulk. And the point goes to the Falcons. As Stormone will now serve it away for a third time in a row. 4-2 here. Santapaw gets that one. Dixon hits it. Trying to complete the sweep. And that one's in on the serve. It's an ace for Tara Stormone. Or excuse me, Tara Stormone. 6-2 Falcons. And I believe that's a point for Amherst. And it's now 7-2 Amherst. Stormone with the serve. Senepaw setting up Peters, and a nice play there for the Lady Eagles. Making the play was Natalie Peters. As they look to get another comeback going. They did it in that second set, and it worked out perfectly. They eventually had the lead. Couldn't finish it, though. Falcons ended up taking it, so trying to do it this time. Down 7-3. Stormone Martin going to go to Bulk on the swing around, and that's in. 8-3 Falcons. Nice play there between Martin and Ivy Bulk. She hits it behind her and then makes the play as Holly Singer is going to come in for Sasha Golan. So here's Leah Kisting now. That one just heads out of bounds on the serve, and it'll be a point for Menominee. Call JG Plumbing for all of your residential and commercial plumbing needs. As your local Amana dealer, you can always trust in JG to get it fixed and get it off your mind. That's JG Plumbing in Amherst. That one hits the net on the hit by Bulk, and it'll be another point for Menominee. As here's Dixon now with the serve, and that one's going to hit the net. 9-5 on the miss hit by Miley Dixon. So Ivy Bulk now back to serve for the Falcons. That one heads out of bounds. It'll be a point for Menominee. So 9-6. Menominee has been hanging around in all three sets except towards the end of set number 1. Trying to pull off this win and force set 4. Wiersma with a big spike, and it's going to be close. And it's a point for the Falcons. Very close call, but Alexis Wiersma gets it done once again. It's 10-6 as Wiersma and Stormont sub out for LePac and Portman. As Callie LePac will now serve it away for Amherst. She gets it over, collected by Waku. Hit over by Korn. Here's Bulk now, gonna set up Singer. That one's heads out of bounds. And a big play there for the Falcons. 11-6 is your score here in set 3. Just like these players bring their best to the field, or excuse me, the court, Ridgetop Exteriors brings top-tier performance to your home. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors, Ridgetop Exteriors has the winning strategy to protect your home. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com. So the Falcons gets the point there once again, 12-6. And LePac's going to serve it away once again. Here's Bulk now, Kisting. And a point for Menominee. I believe they crossed that middle line. Delaney Connor in for Amherst. LePac comes out for Wiersma. Here's the serve by Shay Senepaw. Bulk gonna set up Holly Singer. She gets it over. Back over to the Falcon side. Kisting to Bulk. High in the air for Portman with a spike in the score. Rachel Portman with the play. And the Falcons have a 13-7 lead. Coming out, Kisting for Sasha Golan. It'll be a timeout for the Lady Eagles. 13-7 here in set number 3. Falcons looking to sweep Menominee. We head to a commercial break. We'll be back after this.
After a couple years of a job that doesn't fit, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That is where Mid-State Technical College comes in. Would cooking be a good fit? Try on a career in welding. Perhaps the outdoors suits you better. Or maybe helping people is a better fit. No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options, making Mid-State the perfect fit.
Hello and welcome back. If you're just joining us, Amherst currently up 2-0 in this match. between the Menominee Lady Eagles and the Amherst Falcons. I'm Brett McNamara, and you're listening on Zaleski Sports on YouTube. Holly Singer ready to serve it away for Amherst, currently up 13-7 in set number 3. As Menominee looks to mount another comeback. They've done it before. Can they do it again here in set 3? Here's the serve from Singer. That one just gets over the net, and that one's out of bounds on the hit by Waku. And now the Falcons double the Lady Eagles score, 14-7. 11 away from sweeping Menominee. Here's the setup for Korn. That one heads out of bounds on the kill attempt. And it'll be a point for Amherst once again. Here's Holly Singer with the serve. Santa Paws there. Lions hits it over. Portman going over to Connor. This time kind of pushed over by Korn. Bulk gonna go to Golan. She just gets it over. Bulk's there. Or excuse me, Wiersba's there. This time to Portman. That one barely gets over on the miss hit. And it's 3 in a row now for Amherst, 16-7. And this is what happened in set number 1. Menominee called a timeout, didn't really help them, and now Amherst running away with it once again as there's a serve into the net. And it's a point for Menominee. 16-8 now. Kisting's going to sub back in for Holly Singer. So like I mentioned before, Menominee 0-5 in conference. If they lose this one, of course, they would move to 0-6. 8-9 would be their record after this one if they drop it. Over on the Amherst side, they would improve to 16-7 and 5-1 in conference. As the hit goes out of bounds there. 16-9 now is your score. So currently the Falcons are positioned pretty good in conference. And just standings-wise in general, with only 4 games left to go, including this one, so it would be 3 after this. And a big spike back by Natalie Peters as they get back-to-back points. 16-10 now, Falcons lead. Here's Lions, a nice dig there from Connor. Can't get over the net. Portman's there, though. Nice awareness, a big spike, but that one's out of bounds. It's a point for Amherst. Seven 17-10 Falcons, and that one's going to hit the net on the serve from Connor. As you can see, Kinsey Martin looking to sub back in for Amherst. So now back to serve is Aubrey Korn. Kisting collects that one. Martin high in the air for Bulk with a spike in the score. And that's their go-to, whether it's Alexis Wiersba or Ivy Bulk. This time, Bulk with the score, 18-11. As Tara Stormone back to serve on the substitution. Coming out, I believe it was Portman. So Stormone with the serve. High in the air, it's going to hit the ceiling. Great job there from Peters. Getting it over is Senapal, but that one way over the heads of the Amherst Falcons. And it'll be another point for Amherst. So 19-11 is your score. Stormone trying to end it here. She can't as the server. So now 19-12. Senapal subs out, and in will come number 16, Aaliyah Korn. Back to serve is 27, Keisha Korn, and a big play there from Wiersba. 20-12, they're 5 away from sweeping Menominee. So Leah Kisting now serving it for the Falcons. up by 8-5 away from taking set 3 and completing the sweep and getting the win. Miss hit there from the Lady Eagles, and it's now 21-12 as the Falcons have their biggest lead of set 3. Only storage serving the Amherst area, offering extra large units for businesses, boats, RVs, or an extra garage. Secure, affordable, and open 24/7. Visit us online to reserve your space today. That's Amherst Storage. Big hit once again by the Falcons and Wiersba. They are 3 away, up by 10. And it looks like they are well on their way from taking this one and improving to 16-7 overall and 5-1 in conference. Here's the serve from Kisting. Senepaw. High in the air, Lions goes with it. Martin. Kisting. Who are they going to set up? They're going to go Wiersba, and it's going to be a point for Menominee. I'm not sure what happened there. So 22-13 is your score. Maybe a last-second comeback, and that's not going to help them. 23-13 now on the serve by Dixon to the net. So coming in for the Falcons is going to be Delaney Connor. For Martin, serving it for Amherst is going to be Ivy Bulk. All right, to Senepaw. Lions is there. They're going to go to Peters. Peters hits that one over at Kisting. That one's out of bounds, and another point. Great awareness there from the libero, Lee Kisting. And the Falcons are 1 point away from sweeping Menominee here in Amherst. They took set 1, 25-10, set 2, 25-13. Or excuse me, 25-23, and a big spike back by Alexis Wiersba making the play. 25-13 is your final here in set number 3. And the Amherst Falcons sweep the Menominee Lady Eagles. As make sure to stay tuned for the WIAA Foundry postgame show. Coming up next is the WIAA Foundry postgame show for a job that will ignite your career. Go to jobs.wipacafoundry.com. That's jobs. WIPACAFoundry.com. Once again, stay tuned, and we will be back after this.
The mission at WIPACA Foundry is to provide all of the world with our great quality castings.
I think it'd be kind of hard to find this sort of environment working anywhere else. It's a little bit different than your typical factory setting.
People think that we just pour, we pour a few castings, but like here at Plant 1, we're pouring, 3,000 different parts.
There's a lot to learn, and it's fascinating. When I started and I said that to myself, well, if I don't give it a shot and I don't try out the job, I won't know if I actually like it.
I stay because of my team leader and my foreman and the guys I work with over there. They make it fun and easy and interesting. They're willing to help. They're willing to teach. They give you the time to learn.
As long as you show up, you do what you're supposed to, you ask questions, and you put your best foot forward, you literally can keep moving up.
One of the things that has kept me tied to the company is how do you feel? When you go every day to a place, you belong to a team, you have opportunity for growth, that's the right place to be.
I take pride in everything I do. And if you take pride in what you do, you're always going to do your best at it.
WIPACA has opened up a lot of opportunities for me. They sent me to school. I have an associate's degree now. I take pride in that because I've always wanted to have a college degree, and now I have it, and WIPACA supplied that to me.
I feel like we are an elite team that keeps this place running in Melton Iron, and I like to feel part of something bigger.
I enjoy working with everybody. I love being up here in Wisconsin.
It's like a brotherhood. Everyone knows everyone. Everyone's looking out for everyone.
The people that make up WIPACA Foundry are just really genuine, hard-working people.
I take pride in everything I do. And if you take pride in what you do, you're always going to do your best at it.
We build a good sense of camaraderie with our teams. So it just allows for a more well-rounded and healthy work environment.
It's not just a job, it's a career.
What our differentiator is, WIPACA is a company First, it has a welcoming culture. So no matter what your background is, if you are coming willing to do your job and contribute to the company growth and also growth yourself, you will find the right place.
We make products that help people. I don't ever want to have to worry that you get in your vehicle and you go home and something breaks or fails because we didn't do something right on our process. It all matters.
WIAA Foundry, it's one of the largest iron foundries in the world, and it's right here in WIAA, and I love that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the WIAA Foundry postgame show. I'm Brett McNamara. Alongside me is the head coach of the Amherst Falcons, and Alexi Wiersba. Gals, another great performance once again. Not as much as a tough matchup compared to the last few games I've been here broadcasting for you guys. Going into this one, I talked to you. You changed up a few things. What were the things that you kind of changed up here?
Well, in our second set, we ran a 5-1, and then I got girls into different positions in that. We used a different lineup also for our third set too, kind of changed some stuff up, and so that we could work on things and see who can step in if somebody goes down, like Lexi did last game. So, you have to have options. So we were looking at different things, and just today was the day to try it. So
Exactly, and it worked out. Sometimes it didn't, but you guys got the job done once again, getting the win in 3 and sweeping them. With, I believe, 3 or 4 games left, I'm not sure, on your guys' regular season schedule, what's the mindset and the game plan going into those next 3?
So we would like to win.
Oh yeah, of course.
So Saturday we go to the Dells and we have a tournament there. So we have 5 games that day, 5 in a row basically. We have about half an hour off, and then Tuesday we play Iola, and we're at their place. So we'd really like to take them there, and we'd like to take conference. That's kind of what our goal is. We're going to focus on fundamentals this week, some more coverage things and hitting and all the stuff that we kind of do, and we're going to move on from there, and we're going to play each point every day. So
Exactly, and you guys are playing great, so good luck to you guys as well. I'll be around. Thank you again, Coach. I'll talk to Alexi here. Alexi, great game once again. You're all over the place. You're spiking it. You're making the plays. And set number 2, a little bit of mishaps. When that kind of stuff happens, what's going through your guys' mind in order to flip the script and go forward throughout that set?
Usually we're just thinking like, hey, it's just one play, it's just one mistake. We try not to make it 2, and we think positive thoughts. So like we never say like, okay, I did a bad mistake, okay. But we always say, I got the next one. We're always trying to be positive, and I know I need to work on that a little bit, but I got my teammates to help me out with that.
Exactly. You guys, I've mentioned it before, you guys have a great squad here in Amherst. You guys played great. I'm going to kind of ask you the same question I did to your coach. Going those next 3 games, a couple of tough matchups, you guys want to win conference. How are you guys going to do that?
Just take it one play at a time. Like, even if we make mistakes, we always got to keep moving forward, never look back, and like just keep cheering each other on. Even like when we get big kills, even when we get like little kills, we keep cheering each other on. Make those little kills like something really big. So that way you just keep moving forward.
Exactly, you said it correctly. Well, I can see your teammates getting ready. I'm going to hand you the mic. And you know what you're doing.
I'm Alexis Wiersba, and I'm in the house.